Hey, everybody, it's the Quantum Show. See, I'm pushing buttons before the thing starts live. So, as usual, as we begin the show, I need a sound check, please. How do I sound? Let me know. I don't want to keep going until I get a sound check that you guys can hear me. So, sound check, please. Hey, Diane, you're the first one in the chat. That's some dedication right there. Thank you so much, Diane. I hope you can hear me. Sound check, please. Let me get a sound check. Okay, got a sound check. We're good. Hey, Tim, what's up? Let me get this thing off the screen here. I got a lagging computer. Okay, like the headline says, talking about the non-human report. Hey, Derek Desiree. Well, I would never have expected that to be you, Derek Desiree, but okay, welcome back. First of all, the reason I'm doing tonight, Thursday, instead of Saturday is because tomorrow I have an engagement that I have to go to at it's like a social thing, okay, birthday party, and I'm like the best friend, so I'm going. And Saturday I have to work because I went to Ohio and took a day off. They like to trade days. So that's why I'm doing a Thursday show, and this is going to be the Quantum Show for the week. I announced it yesterday, but I didn't have it properly done with the whole, with the placard with the quantum pad. Oh, by the way, that has been updated from a little yellow pad to a spiral pad. Oh yeah, a quantum pad right here. And sorry. And yeah, today I want to talk about I got a non-human report update. Okay. So my first non-human report was from Indiana, and I think I did a supplemental, but I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to recall Indiana encounter. So here's what happened. I went to Indianapolis about 6 months ago. I forget when. It was for a kind of Comic-Con. Now, the topic was not really my topic, so I was people watching and talking to the independent creators and stuff, right? That was my phone. And I was watching the crowd. Well, in the crowd were these two women that, okay, were these two women that didn't, that they looked very strange to me, right? At first, it looked like, now this is Indiana. So, though they do have rednecks, they don't have as many. It's Northwest, or, yeah, the Northwest people. And hold on, not right now. Um, okay, I'll just turn that a little bit down for the duration of the show. Okay, but one was very skinny, and they were both about 5'3", 5'5", something like that. Not too tall. About my height. I'm 5'7", so they were about 5'5", 5'6". Yeah, one was very skinny, and the face was like this. Right, girl face was like this. The other one appeared to be heavy, overweight woman, but I don't believe so because there was some very distinct qualities about these two. If you are familiar with the if you're familiar with the medical condition of clubfoot, okay, where the ankle is fused, that's the way the skinny person was walking, but on both feet. And that intrigued me. Now, what intrigued me at first was I was watching them walk by, and they were not dressed for where they were. This is a convention, so everybody's in their favorite T-shirts. They were dressed like how I go to work: polo, tucked in, belt, looking okay, and looking like business casual on the very casual side of stuff, right? So that was the skinny one, and she was very skinny. Like her bones and joints were in the wrong spots to be a regular person. Now, not so far off as to be looked at as not a human, but because we got a lot of variation in our bodies too. But this woman, this woman was too skinny, too, and there seemed to be some kind of mental barrier around her that I was seeing through, but not very well. Seeing through because it's almost like a suggestive, like a hypnotic suggestion that they would put that in my head and I would have to work to get past it. I didn't take any pictures because of the hypnotic suggestion of do not disturb, right? So that was the skinny one. And the tall one, her face was not shaped like our faces. Okay. Now, if you look at generic humans across the board, we got chin, cheekbones. We have a chin that generally points out, generally, right? We have nose, and our it's like cheekbones kind of even on me, right? Cheekbones kind of go out right here and then down to chin, right? Yeah, Diane, this is for real stuff because I'm about to talk about the hybrids, the hybrid program. Stay tuned. So I don't think these guys were hybrids. I think they were totally non-humans. Now that's our face. The skinny ones was like this, right? Very pointed chin, very small mouth, and the eyes seemed larger but regular at the same time. So then her friend, and it looked like a skinny girl and her fat friend, like the stereotype. This was not the case, right? She was not fat. She was just built like that. I have another, I actually have a personal witness me. I saw somebody like this. I see somebody like this every day. Okay. Hey, Raven, welcome back. And I see somebody like this every day. He's a coworker. Let me describe. He is about 6 foot tall. His waist is slightly lower, but not strangely so, just enough to be slightly lower. His arms are slightly shorter, not enough to be noticeable as not a human, but slightly shorter. And he has the paper white skin, and he has some very strange mannerisms. All right. And he has a super deep voice, but I think that might just be incidental, but a super deep voice, like sports podcaster voice. And okay, now I work with him. I see him every day, and he has no social skills. All right. Again, that could be incidental, but this is a little too many incidentals add up to what is really going on over this with this dude, right? And he is very antisocial, or it almost comes off as not antisocial, but unsocial. Like he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Now, going back to Indiana, just the description, that description of that person with the low waist, heavy build, but not fat, low waist, heavy build, shorter arms, that was her fat friend. Okay. That was the, hey, Pam, welcome to the Quantum Show. I don't believe I've seen you here before. Hit like and subscribe. You're here, therefore you are quantum. How did you get here? Please put it in the chat. I'd love to know what drew you here. And no, I'm not ripping on Amy. Amy says, "How did you get here?" In all the logarithms of YouTube, how did you find yourself here? I didn't say that. I said, "You're here, you're quantum. How did you get here? What link did you follow? Let me know. It'd be nice to know. But you're here, so you're quantum. The quantum has reached out to you, Pam, to draw you in. And let me get on with it. Okay, now that was those two. She was heavier build, low waisted. They were both in like Business casual, more casual. Okay. Rabbit holer. Oh, all right. Cool. Gotcha. Pam is from 1-2. Well, you have come onto a random show tonight because I'm talking alien hybrids, non-human reports, sightings, and everything. Now, now those two, they had this in Indiana. They had this mental do not describe sign up to where I was reaching out. I hadn't learned to shield very well yet, so I was open and I was actually reaching out everywhere. I was reaching out and I got this just a polite do not disturb, polite but firm do not disturb type of mentality. Do not bother me, do not disturb. It's very strange. It was almost like, Tim, there is a feature for clerics, uh, a non weapon skill. It is called piety. It was almost like piety, like you didn't seem like you were good enough to approach them. That's what it was like. They were projecting this air of almost piety. I've seen that in real life from people. It is a skill for real. It is really a skill. So, oh, we got somebody else. Raisin. I didn't see Raisin come up. I see Pam saying hi, Raisin, and hi Desiree, which is Derek. Derek's undercover in the Quantum Show. It's not Derek. Nobody say it's Derek. It's Desiree. Okay, but now tonight's sighting that I saw, I was on a random. I had to go pick up my buddy from work and take him home. Right. He said, "Let's go to eat." I'm like, "Sure, let's go to the sub place." He goes, "Let's go to this other place." And I was like, "Sure, let's go." We got sat. Now, this is what is weird, right? This person, I don't think she was a skinny person. Okay, I not like the one in Indiana. I think she was a hybrid because she had that face. She had no eyebrows. All right, very white skin. The face was round, round, and like that. Just no definite poking out cheekbones, no definite poking out chin. It was very strange. And I was observing and listening. She wasn't putting out any vibes or anything, but here's what I noticed other than her appearance. Plus, she appeared to not have much of a figure, like very like the person in Indiana and the person at my job. So I got to talking about it. They left, and I looked at what was left on their table. Okay. Now, this girl was not what you would call terminally skinny. She was not. Okay. She was not fat, but like I described, not fat, just built tough, built like that. And I looked at what was left on their table. Where that girl was, she had not touched any of the food on her plate. It was just like they gave it to her, maybe minus a little bit of lettuce and stuff. It was a hamburger place, right? So her food was untouched, maybe some lettuce, and it looked like water or something that was not Coca-Cola or soft drink, and it was still there, right? I got to thinking, and along with we have hybrids embedded, and no one realizes it. Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There's no takeover coming. There's no nothing. That's not how you take over. Okay, how you take over is way different than this infiltration type thing, right? I don't think there's an invasion. No, no invasion. No, nothing like that. If they wanted to, they would have done it a long time ago. So I'm thinking that we have a hybrid program going on to get so the others can get access to what we got, which is what I call quantum link and what Keith calls zero point energy manipulation. I call it the quantum link. I don't know. Desiree, the Orion group, I don't know. I can't say, but I know that there is something going on because there have been too many reports, and I would like there have been too many reports from too many places, from too many people for this not to have any value. Okay. So when you have 1,000 people saying this is happening, and you have 10,000 saying it isn't happening, you're crazy, that's still, I don't care what if it sounds crazy. Something's happening, you know? Something is happening. Just because the majority doesn't want to deal with it, which brings me to another topic. Okay. I watched a video that my friend on Facebook sent me about the basal ganglia in our brain. I will leave a link to that video. It's on Facebook, but it's also on YouTube, I think. So I'll leave a link after the show. All right. And it was talking about this basal ganglia, which is neural connections down in the base of the brain, right? Basal, as in the base, in the bottom, how it connects different parts of the brain more than others. So these people, and I think I'm one of them, and you know what? Everybody here, if you've seen ghost, UFO, cryptid, shadow person, you name it, right? Then you probably have this enhanced ganglia in the base part of your brain. That's brainstem, and that it's connective, right? Connective wiring is what it is. So it lets your brain talk amongst itself, helps the computer work better. It's almost like if you're in computer speak, it's the bus, the width of the bus and the speed of the bus is enhanced. You hear things about 32-bit bus, 64-bit. What does that actually mean? That means the channel from the processor to the RAM to the hard drive, processor, RAM, hard drive. So they can all talk faster and process more. Well, that also means enhanced ability to perceive. You can look it up, Google it, Google that stuff up. All right. And so I think I'm one of those people, and I think all of you here are too. Everybody in Amy's show, everybody at Rich's show, I want to say everybody at Keith's show, and everybody at Dakhour Paranormal show. All right. The other shows, can't say much. I haven't spent much time with them. But those guys, they're linked. They got links. I recommend you go to Dark Hour, GUFON, Alien Girl 111, and Mindforked. Go subscribe. Excellent. Here's the deal. I'm the cerebral one. They look at it with a more fun atmosphere. I didn't mean for it to be. This is the Brainiac show here on the Quantum Show. I didn't mean for that to be that way. It just kind of happened that way. Yes, that is another part, Diane. We do. You can look it up. Everyone can look it up. We have a crystal interface in our brain. Okay, we do. They're tiny, but it don't take much. Okay, these big crystals that we got are imperfect crystals. These non-cut natural quartz crystals that we got is not what's in our brain. These are the perfect ones. Okay. Okay. Right. I've heard this before, and there are different sides to this. Raven is saying allegedly the Greys are actually us humans from the future, but from a parallel Earth. They chose to mix tech with the physical and ruin their ability to procreate, so they need our DNA. I have heard this. There is another side of that, right? There is the other side, the other parallel. Okay, so if you have one, you have another. That's parallel. The other side is that we advanced, we became basically Atlanteans again, and that we rediscovered our natural abilities to go back. And they want to make sure, now they're aware of the parallel. They want to make sure that doesn't happen. But you got the now where the future is being built. It's crazy. Quantum mechanics, when you talk about time, is nutty. Okay, you know what one of the nuttiest things about quantum mechanics and time? The outcome can the cause, the effect can come before the cause. You hear you know the term cause and effect? Well, in quantum reality, the effect can come before the cause. It is some crazy stuff. But when you look at how it's broken down, it makes sense. Given your ability to think of the conditions, right? Oh wait, why did that disappear? I didn't disappear it. Anyway, yeah, that's why I tried to run a time slip campaign. It was crazy, and the players couldn't hang with it. So I said, "Yeah, this is not such a good idea." I called it time slip because you could slip into the stream if you're a time wizard. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic there, and I am staying on topic. I am, and I'm glad. Like some days, she shows like, "Man, I got 45 minutes left." I'm like, "God, I only got 45 minutes left," because that's what I got right now, or well, 35 minutes left. So I've heard what Raven is talking about too, right? I've heard that. But you got parallel, and then you got what's the other side of that parallel, right? Is where we advance. Yeah, we advance over here, and these guys want to make sure they exist, but it's like spite filled because it's at our expense now. We are the ones who need to advance, not them. They technically don't exist yet. Oh, time stuff is weird, y'all. Okay, I'm going to bring this back up. And yes, I did say we have in our pituitary, or not pituitary, third eye gland, crystals are there. Raven, what's the word for the third eye? I want to say pituitary, but it's not. The gland. I can't think of it. Throw it in the chat. I'll put it on the screen. I can't. I need more coffee. Mm. So, but going back to the non-human report, okay? Going back to the non-human report. That woman that I saw, pineal, that's it. The pineal gland or pineal gland. Pineal, yes. Okay. I knew I could count on my quantum group to fill in the gaps of my stupid meat brain. Thank you, both Tim and Raven. Thank you very much. Yes, the pineal gland. Crystals are in there. They're tiny, but it doesn't take much. Look at our main processors on our computers. We have crystals in those. Those are bigger than the ones in here, and ours are much more capable because those are using the EM field, and we're using something else. We're using something else, and it's there, and it's real, and it's all hooked up together. The basal ganglia, it allows some people to see it, to pituitary, and yeah, that's why I took a hit on the head when I was 4 years old. So I'm pretty sure my rewiring caused me to be able to watch stuff. Got 13 in the chat. I want to say, hey, welcome back. Welcome to the Quantum Show. If you're here, you're quantum. Hit like and subscribe. And what brought you here? How did you find this place? That was your quantum link to come to this show. Let me see. I'm going to put up a banner. And yeah, I didn't know what I was going to talk about until I went to that hamburger joint. Okay. I'm going to put this banner up for a few minutes until I went to the hamburger joint and I got to talking about politics of all things. The political climate is the surface. All right. It's only the surface. The elites want us to stay political because that frees them up. Check it out, to do other things like that A word. Okay. from the kiddies, that A word, and they have some knowledge. And I was explaining it to my friend, said they want us to keep it political. That way they're free to do other things. And this suppression of thought started during ancient Rome. It really did. If you look at overall the way all of our military and governmental tactics come from ancient Rome, they really do. Okay, go ahead and hide that. Get the comments back on screen. They come. The idea of a Senate comes from Rome. They got the idea from the Greeks, but the Greeks, they had their own deal going on, right? They weren't suppressing the people. They were trying to enlighten the people, but it didn't work. They weren't ready. Hey, Zach. Hey, Lunar. Thanks for coming by, y'all. YouTube, definitely quantum. Hit like and subscribe. YouTube makes me say that, okay? But the Roman Empire, they were trying to corral their citizens, control their citizens. Look at all the accounts of Rome. They were not trying to educate. They had definite breaks in classes of people, and they had hidden knowledge. The hidden knowledge was left over by the Greeks. The Greeks knew about the weird stuff. I'm talking about the weird stuff, okay? And I'm only talking about, what I have experienced and what I have seen. And I can't talk about the Egyptian stuff yet, okay? Maybe one day I could talk about the Egyptian stuff. But right now, I could talk about Rome. Rome, we get everything. All of the people from Europe and the United States gets everything from Rome. Look at it. The eagle has been the eagle, okay? Americas and Europe, the eagle has always been one of the one of the main symbols. Wheat or a grain, always been a main symbol. Look for yourself. Look at the um South American places, all the places in Americas, eagles are very special, right? Well, they were also very special in Rome and Germany. So look at that, right? They called where the Eagle's Nest, Hanau, Germany, during World War II, they called it the Eagle's Nest. I was stationed right next to it. Okay. It was, yeah, it was pretty cool. And Tim is in here saying Babylon, Rome, and New York are the same place. Okay. I will look that up. I will look that up. I'm sure that knowledge came from somewhere. Okay. I know that knowledge came from somewhere. Ain't nothing new under the sun, what my old mechanics teacher used to tell me, Mr. Hodges. Hats off to you, Mr. Hodges. I don't think you're with us anymore. I haven't talked to you in 40 years, 30 years, 30 something years. But he said there ain't nothing new under the sun. We're just going back over. And he's right. Because, mm, right, if you look at any way, look at Washington, D.C., okay? Why is that? Look at the overlay of the map of Washington, D.C. Now look at Denver. Also, there was one other city. I think it was Atlanta, but I'm not sure. But there's a bunch of cities that follow very common themes. It's not because they're the easiest, it's because they were handed down by other people. Definitely Denver, Denver Airport. What's up with that? So, yeah, we got to talking about the politics, how it was handed down, adapted from Greece. Greece had the secret knowledge out in the forefront. There's a reason it didn't survive, is because it is not able to survive the way the people are now. And it's so weird to think of it. We are the link to all the weird stuff happening, okay? And we're the ones, and they know this. They had a big population. They were able to interact, talk to the others, the sky people, right? Look at the Look at the mystery side of, of the Greek people. Okay, look at the religious side of the Greek people. All right, it's very, you don't know what to think of it. You think, because we're coming from where we're coming from, right? With the modern age that we call the modern age, we're the highest tech. I don't think so. Okay, we went along the lines of petroleum and electricity. They didn't. They went along the lines of what would really be Lemuria, where they were using, Atlantis was using the tech like we understand it, and they lacked a lot of the spiritual aspect of it. Lemuria didn't use as much of the hardware tech, they used more of the spiritual, and they were neck and neck as far as I understand. I would love to get somebody on the panel, but I know Keith is not here tonight because Keith is doing it's his game night. And we were talking the politics, talking about it from Rome and how Rome has flavored everything we've done, and the elites lost it in Rome. They lost the ability to use these weird abilities in Rome, and they pretended at it and they tried to do it, but it didn't work. And so now we are where we are. We went with a technological bent to everything, and we've lost that spirituality. And I'm going to quote, I can't remember his name. It's not aliens, it's us. Phillips. I think his name is Phillips. Okay, it's not aliens, it's us. It's not aliens, it's worse, it's us. It's not aliens.com. I will try to put not aliens. I talk about him so much, right? We were the ones who were manifesting all this stuff in Greece. Okay, now I will say it's in Greece. And we lost the ability by the time Rome came around because we were just getting more materialistic. And that's because, I don't know, it seems like they lost the ability to do it as a people, humans as a people. So they looked to authoritarianism, and then we got Rome. Now, there's a lot of time in there, right? We were very spiritual before Greece, and I'm talking like Sumeria, and and it started with Egypt, okay? But I can't talk about Egypt. I don't know too much about Egypt. And the reason they're trying to, now I will say it right here on the Quantum Show, they're pushing vaccines. They're pushing the jabs. Now watch me get censored, right? They're pushing the jabs. They're pushing, I'm surprised they're not pushing abortion, but that's a whole different train of thought, right? Some people are pushing post-birth abortion. That's also known as murder, maybe. Hey, Joe, welcome back to the Quantum Show. I know, I see you over there, man. And I say hi to you all the time. We talk about stuff over in his chat room. Oh, where was I? Okay, they're pushing all these um shrink the population agendas. And I got news for y'all. Carbon is needed for us to have the greenhouse effect, which is needed to not have another ice age. It's crazy. I mean, we learned this. I learned this in second, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, that you have a greenhouse effect and that keeps energy in. And when global warming, I'm not going to get started on that. But anyway, it's an agenda. All right. And um they're and it's not left and right. Okay, it's not left and right. It's that's the illusion. Okay, you got poor people, rich people. Welcome back, Derek. Derek is no longer undercover. He came in dressed like Bugs Bunny in a dress, saying, "What's up, Doc?" Now he's back. I hope you all get that reference. Um, but The Romans knew about what was going on in Greece. They wanted to be able to do it, but they couldn't. So, but they gave the illusion of it. All right. And then the people started uprising in Rome, and you had the rise of the Christian church and how they adopted Christianity as a state religion. And we all know what happened after that. And then you have us here. Now our numbers are growing. We have a psychic unconscious, a subliminal network going on. Ganglia, third eye, whatever. The more we have, the more we're able to manifest that network back into being. It's not aliens, it's us. We are doing it. We are the manifestors here on Earth. And like Keith is always talking about, we can go the bad route or we can go the good route. I choose the good route with a lot of sarcasm and coffee. I need to get more coffee. My coffee's cold. But now we have those kinds of numbers coming up, and we're starting to wake up. More people, if you look at the state of ufology, look at the state of the horror genre, right? More people are seeing weird stuff. More people are starting to, oh man, I'm not even getting into the Hyper Project, right? That's okay. More people are getting psychic. More people, in my neighborhood, I know at least one other empath and a telepath. She is a full-on telepath. She did it to me and she doesn't know she's doing it. Full-on telepath, okay? I'm talking words put into my head. It happened. And she's a nice lady, so. And I told you, the shoe store lady, she didn't, the person that was listening to me, you know what he was? Not surprised. He was not surprised to hear me saying any of this. That was the coolest part. Usually it'd been like, this guy, if I was dealing with strict muggles, right? It would have been like, this guy is dangerous. I'm about to call the cops. I'm about to call the cops to get this crazy guy talking about aliens and psychics and you put words in my head guy out of my shoe store. But he didn't do that. And she wasn't surprised either. She was more like, you can tell? Like her hand in the cookie jar. Mm. So, and the empath person, well, she works at Walgreens and she does not embrace it. She says it's demons. And I'm like, I'm out. All right, you live your life, lady. You go right ahead. Because that place got a resident spirit. It knocked over toys twice on me. And empaths, okay, I have come to accept that I have this. All right. And we see each other. We can see each other. Lunar. That would be me. Are they handing out badges or ID cards? Because I think I might need one. Oh, I am going to self-make some stickers. I'm going to have, it's going to be my YouTube logo. That's it, YouTube logo. It's going to be my YouTube, let me adjust. It's going to be my YouTube logo here on the show in sticker form. And I'm going to get to this kind of quality at some point. But I'm definitely making stickers. And they're not going to be fancy die cut, all this stuff. No, they're going to be looking like come from a craft show from me. We have experience with that. The rabbit. Remember the rabbit? And that day on your balcony. I say balcony. It was more like a sitting area. It wasn't much of a balcony. But yeah, maybe, depends on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to start working with this basal ganglia thing that I saw, and Shout out to Two Broke Guys here on YouTube. That's Nate, and he sent me the video, and it was a very good video. Okay, now we live in a paranormally active historic neighborhood. I watch people come and go since 1999. Before that, 70s. Before that, 1800s. Wow, cool. You mean people who aren't there anymore? Is that what you mean, Lunar? Because that's something. I know, as y'all all know, I live in a historic neighborhood too. It's Revolutionary War, and I believe Andrew Jackson sailed down the river right over here. I mean, the river is that way. That's Overall Creek going directly into the Cumberland, directly to the Ohio, right? I think. I think it goes to the Ohio. I'm not sure. Okay, she says, yep, that's exactly what she meant. So yeah, that is what she meant. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? There's something we can do. Oh, there's something we can do with our camera. If you have a camera with two lenses, right? Here's something I heard about. He picked himself up a camera with two lenses. Not the Apple one, right? Well, maybe the Apple one. I don't know. Just as long as it has two lenses. Both lenses work at the same time. So this is ghost hunting stuff. Get you some of them 3D glasses out of a comic book or coloring book or something for the movies. Connect them to be filters for those two cameras, right? And start taking pictures. See what happens. Because both of the cameras are going to fight for the correct light level. And it's going to be looking in something that is in between. Maybe infrared, maybe ultraviolet. I don't know. I think it's infrared. But I'm going to do that. I think I might come up with a phone with two cameras on it and just the generic versions of it because they sell them on Wish and stuff. I don't need it to have a plan or anything. Maybe a tablet, something with two cameras. My iPhone has three cameras, and this one has only one. You see, it only has the one camera. The iPhone that I have has three lenses, so not suitable. I don't know how to. I don't have the engineering for that, but that's what I'm going to do because I don't get anything on night vision around here. Apparently, they don't hang out in that spectrum. But I have two night vision devices, and while they're not awesome, they are night vision devices, and I'm not catching anything. So I'm going to look somewhere else. I'm going to do that. I'm also I've got somewhere a big infrared spotlight that I need to hook up to this big 12-volt battery. So much stuff. And okay, well, anyway, going away from ghost hunting, right? It's cool, and a lot of people are starting to do it because it's out there. It's right there. It's literally right there. Every mall, every river, every path that's been around, everything is haunted. You just got to look at it. But okay, going back to Greece, Rome, and now the people are starting to. There's so many of us. Why are they having all these population reduction programs? Okay, that's what they are. They're culling us, and why? Literally, the more, the better. Until you get to that mystical stuff where the more people start waking up, they don't need the authoritarianism anymore. They're starting to see, I can, I am. Those are crazy powerful words when you realize I can because I am. All right. And it's really, really cool. Manifestation starts to come easy. You start to hear voices. Yeah, you know what? If you've got a friend or a relative that hears voices and they're on meds, tell them to skip the meds for a day if they're not violent, right? Hang out with them and just don't damn them. Don't belittle them for that, right? Experience it with them because now we can. And if it's what I think it is. And oh, by the way, a bunch of kids I've noticed are being diagnosed as almost schizophrenic, and they're being given meds for voices in their heads. You know what? Those aren't crazy. Okay, that is a new way that we interact with ourselves. It's our own self doubt. They're not seeing things; they're hearing themselves talk to them, and it's their self doubt, it's their insecurity, it's their inner fears. That's what that is. I urge you, I am not a psychologist. However, I am a quantumist, okay? I will die on this hill. Come at me, bro. I am not a physician. I am not a psychologist. I am into the quantum. And therefore, this stuff is. Oh, by the way, this show is for reality purposes. If you get entertained, great, but this is for reality purposes. Let me get this thing going. This show is for reality purposes. And yeah, it's a new we left the old world in 2012. I'm not really sure what happened, but we're here. It's the now. The Mandela effect is real. Some of them are not real, but the Mandela effect is real. The world is not the way it was. A lot of it is mystical. A lot of it is spiritual. Even in this UFO hearings that I was able to go back over, one of the guys said, I think it was David Grush. By the way, I do believe Grush. However, I think Grush is being led and he's being filtered and he's being censored. He's part of the dog and pony show. He is passionate about getting it out, but he knows he doesn't want to endanger himself, his family, by telling all of it. All those things, I can't talk about that in a public setting. We'll have to go into a skip, secure setting, and I can tell you that in private. Why? Why? And the term whistleblower is now being used as a buzzword. All right, yeah, this show is for reality purposes. Come at me, bro. Thank you, Tim. Yes. Like and subscribe to the Quantum Show. If you're here, something dragged you here. Some feeling, some inkling, some little urge brought you to the show. Was it my friend told me? I was recommended on YouTube. I saw you in another chat room. My ghost told me to come here. All quantum, right? Aliens sent me. Also quantum. And by the way, shout out to any off-worlders in watching. Thank you for being you. Return my calls, please. I got coffee. You show up, I brew coffee. That's the deal. Okay. And if I got any kind of, well, the deal is aliens show up, I got coffee. Come on over. I got the whole quantum realm of me in this place. And the people out back will be happy to see you that live back here. Hey, Lynn. Yes, thank you for showing up, Lynn. Here's the deal with tonight's show. I got to work Saturday. I've got an engagement tomorrow. So it was either cancel or do it on tonight on Thursday. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. I am going to be, oh, here we go. Hooray lag. I am going to be doing a panel after this show, and we have got about 10 minutes left, about 9 minutes left. So I am going to be doing a panel. If you can make it, Lynn, great. Raven, you too. I know you're out there. And I'm going to be talking. This is the non-human report. Oh, yeah. Me too. I got too much blood in my coffee system right now. So All right, good deal. Lynn, I will send you a link when the panel goes up. But yeah, talking non-humans and why they're afraid of us to have so many of us versus them, because the elites are now we have elites. We don't have the senators. Even that's a dog and pony. Even that's a lie. That's just organization of below the elite. The elites know that when we get together, we can manifest and we can shape reality. And we don't need to be their little consumer cows that both consume and produce, and they take all of the money. Money, we're about to not need it. We're about to not need it. And this is where what Raven was talking about, the parallel, or that's the bad side. That's the side where they want us to be against each other. I know the reference you're talking about. They want us to be against each other. They want us to be easier to control because people who are angry are easier to put in groups. Or you have the united side. That's us. Here, that's the quantum side. That's all the shows that are in the links. We all want to get along, even though we want to argue, because we like debate. Debate is how you get. I'm not preaching. If you have Simon Fly, if you want to come on. I dare you to debate me on any of this stuff because you don't have the context, bro. Right? You want to talk about ufology, strictly a hardware problem? It is not a hardware problem. You don't have the context. And here on this quantum show, we talk about that context. We talk about our inner light, our outer connectivity, how we are one, how we use crystals, even on the very basic level. And yeah, shout out to, I think it was Minnesota Grower 420 or Minnesota Grows 420. He came in last week at the end of the panel, and it was nice. It was good. I had to cut out, but no cutting out tonight. And this is the start of my weekend. So I'd like to say I got nothing to do, but I got a ton of stuff to do. So, um, yeah, how's that for dead air? It's quantum dead air. So they're afraid of us getting together and ignoring their stuff, ignoring their rule. They want us using gasoline because now I'm not preaching Tesla cars. I am not preaching Tesla cars at all. It is a bad implementation of a good idea. It's a bad implementation. Okay. It was a good idea, but they're doing it wrong. I have my own. I've done a show on that. I've thrown it into every show. I don't need to beat that topic to death anymore. Okay. Tim says, I'm a member of a confederation of common souls in the future. As am I. As am I. As we all are. And I know if y'all are here, y'all know I'm not making stuff up. I've experienced this stuff. It's observing. And you got to be really dense to not see what's going on with this elite stuff. It's real. And the weird cultism stuff going on, like that island that nobody's supposed to talk about on YouTube, where that guy who didn't kill himself was living. All that's dark side stuff, but it works. I'm not saying do it. We have access to the light side. Don't go the dark side. You don't need to. It's a little more work, but you're not working with spite, and you're not working with things like necromancy and pulling life energy out of something. Life energy is everywhere. Okay, we don't need to go do that. But yeah, we got a lot of that going on, unfortunately. The dark side stuff. And it's been ingrained into us on how to do it. That's the better way to do it. So authority says, and I disagree. I disagree with that. We have the better way of doing it. Because you know what? I've looked I've always tried to do the non-selfish. Here's something that happened. When I took my trip to Florida, okay, I met Rich. Shout out Rich Giordano, right? Met Rich. Here's what I regret. Rich got sick. We neither one of us knew he was getting as sick as he was. All right. And I was worried about inconveniencing. He lives 2 hours from there. I was worried about inconveniencing the two people I was with to go help Rich because Rich was in no shape to drive and he ended up not driving. Okay. He ended up not driving. He ended up having to go in, and this was on his show. Ended up going in an ambulance, having his car transported with a truck, and then he had to go find his car. And he says he got his identity stolen. Here is my regret that I didn't say, "Hey, you two, I'm going to drive Rich home in his car because he's not up to driving. Follow me or not." I regret not doing that. I really do because I took the selfish road. And look what happened. My friend got in trouble. My friend was a Monty. Welcome back to the Quantum Show. And so I try to never take the selfish road. And here's something else. If you are in a situation, you're there for a reason. That was my reason for being there. I was put there that day, that moment, in those circumstances, and I chose the wrong decision. And I feel bad about that. I really do. And I know it only happened months ago. It didn't happen years ago. It happened months ago. So that's how the quantum manifests to people. But you got to be able to know when it pops up. You know, there is a there is a vibe that comes along. You can tell when this is an important decision. You better make the right one because it's going to affect your life for the rest of your life. This is an important decision. Right, Lynn is telling me, LA Moon is telling me, live and learn. The next time you'll understand better. Yeah, yeah. Always me. That this is for me. This is what I went through. Right. I didn't realize that was one of those times. I didn't realize it because I was too wrapped up in my own ego, in my own self purpose, self whatever, ego. Anyway, you start to realize these things when you start looking at this stuff and all the quantum, talking about the elites, the politics, and why. Because I still don't get why they want to. There's no logical purpose to want less people on the planet. None, right? Oh, it's easier to control. Not really, because you have division of responsibility, and you have uh, you appoint mayors and 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 governors and things like that, and we all agree on stuff, right? We broke away from that with England, with Europe, by coming from the old world. We broke away from that, so we don't need that anymore. Now that's what they're trying to bring back. Trying to bring back like a kingdom of America, and that's not the way it works. Yeah, come on, go for launch. Let's do this. We're doing it. We are doing it. So, all right, this is the last few minutes. I didn't even get to talk. We might talk about the hybrid project in the panel. Panel will happen about 30 minutes or so, and it's break time. I got to get more coffee and do all the things. So, everybody, thanks for coming to the first hour solo of the Quantum Show. I hope I didn't ramble too much. We did non-human report, talking about the evolution of mankind, why the elites are wanting us to be less powerful. The less we are, the less powerful we are. The more we are, the more powerful we are. I'm going to be in panel soon. Got to take a break. Thanks everybody for coming to the Quantum Solo. Best solo since the last solo. Love it. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Lunar. And Lynn, I'll be seeing you. I'll send you a link in a little bit. Monty, thanks for popping in. Tim, again. Pam Snow, thank you for coming by. Diane. And I know I had some lurkers because we had like 4 or 5 people talking and 13 watching. Thank you. You are all quantum. Derek and Desiree. I'm looking. Derek. Joe Stewart was here. I think he took off, but that's okay. He poked his head in, and that was awesome. Zach Diecast Monster. I knew I saw you, man. I didn't mean to skip you. The thing goes so fast sometimes, and everybody was saying hi at that point in time. Right around the pineal gland talk. So Zach came in. Sorry I didn't shout you out at the moment, but I'm going to wrap this solo up. Raven, you will get a link. And I will send panel members out links as needed. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Now I'm pushing buttons. Yep. Tim said it. Pushing buttons. See, I got to push the buttons because I don't know what any of them are doing.